shades of blue. Elena had been walking the creek for hours, boots sinking into the soft mud with every step. It was where she went when the noise of life pressed too close, when her inbox piled with unanswered emails and the silence of her apartment felt heavier than any voice. Here, beneath the overgrown willows, she could pretend that the world was still a quiet place that she could lose herself in. She liked the calming trickle of water, the scatter of bird calls, the certainty of stones beneath her soles. So when her toe caught on something half buried in the sand and sent a jolt of pain through her foot, her first instinct was annoyance, not curiosity. She crouched, brushing mud aside with chilled fingers, and frowned at the strange shape that emerged. She found it half buried in the creek bed, smoothed by centuries of water, yet humming faintly like a living throat. When her fingers closed around it, a soft blue stirred from within the stone, faint at first, then swelling into branching lines that crawled across the surface. A pattern, no, a script, pressing itself against her vision. She held it closer. The lines shifted, folding and unfurling like iridescent peacock feathers, navy blue veins, bluish-grey storm clouds. Each pulse carried a sense of familiarity, as if the stone had been waiting for her. The glow reflected in her eyes, filling the sockets with a trembling indigo sheen. The patterns of colour began to make sense. Not sense in words, but in truths. Images rose in the back of her skull, spirals of architecture that she couldn't begin to understand, oceans without surfaces, stars whispering like insects. Each thought was not her own, yet it landed with the weight of revelation, with a pressure, like sinking into cold water. She clutched the stone tighter, desperate for more. The world around her grew cold and dark in a shadow of midnight blue. The voice came not with sound but colour. A lattice of meaning poured straight into the marrow of her bones. It was not speech, but recognition, the way a mirror recognizes the face that bends over it. She felt seen, utterly and completely. And then the weight in her mind grew unbearable. The patterns no longer shimmered. They bored into her, filling every crevice of thought with alien syllables, until there was no room left for self. Her eyes widened, her mouth went limp. The stone pressed tight against her chest, as though grafting itself in. Light rippled through her ribs, prying her essence loose from its shell, pushing her soul outward like smoke from a fire. When the glow brightened, the body stiffened. The hands still twitched as if resisting, but the face no longer belonged to Elena. The eyes shone with a steady, unblinking blue, and when the mouth moved, the words that spilled out were not human. It wasn't a stone at all. It was a door, and now the door stood open. Thanks for watching Shades of Blue. Big thanks to Sue Skyfox for today's seed comment. A soft blue glowed from within the stone, a pattern emerging as they held it close. This story is part of my quickfire challenge, where I take your seed comments and turn them into complete horror and sci-fi shorts in under 500 words. If you want to join in, drop your idea in the comments. It might become the next story. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe on YouTube, or follow on TikTok so you don't miss the next one. Want the written version of this story or more exclusive content? Head over to my Substack, and if you're ready for more dark tales, Karl Otto's Dark Anthology, Volume 1 is out now on Amazon and Kindle. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next quickfire. This is Karl Otto's Dark Anthology, where your nightmares breathe.